What do Beyonce, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, Steven Spielberg, Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, Selena Gomez, Roger Federer, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, and so many other high performers, what do they all have in common? Well, they all know how to concentrate. Hi, I'm Supercoach Dave, and I'm a teen transformation expert and a family development specialist. And I want to help you here today by giving you 6 simple tips that you can use to help your child focus and concentrate better in their revision and their homework or their study for exams. You see, concentration is a lot like mindfulness. It's a concept that's been receiving a lot of attention lately in medicine and psychology. It's basically the ability to pay attention to one thing at the moment. That's right, we are so used to multitasking, but what really works is when we pay attention to one thing at a time. And science has shown that it's been proven to have huge mental health benefits, from increased happiness, we actually get happy with it, to higher brain functioning, we get smarter with it, and as well as to improve academic and exam performance. Imagine if kids were able to do this, what kind of results they may be able to achieve. Now, for this mindfulness to work, you've got to know first, the most important thing is how to concentrate. And here in this quick video, I'm going to share with you 6 tips that you can use right now to help your kids build their concentration muscles faster.
Concentrate.
So, number 1, the first thing is we've got to set aside a reasonable amount of time for your child to practice focusing on a specific task. That means on one task. So what do? If you have a child between 4 or 5 years old, they usually can concentrate for somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes, and it depends on the task. If it's a new and challenging task, they won't be able to do it for very long. But if it's an enjoyable task, an enjoyable activity that they really enjoy doing and have fun doing, they can concentrate for a longer period of time. These are for kids. But if you have a teenager, what can you do? What if you have a teenager who's restless and finds it difficult sitting down and concentrating? One of the techniques that can be used immediately where you're going to see quick gains is called the Pomodoro technique. Now, what is the Pomodoro technique? Now, this technique is a simple time management technique that many students use, many high-performance students actually swear by, that uses a timer to break their work down into short 25-minute blocks of time. And it's separated by short 5-minute breaks. Now, so what happens is that we study and focus for 25 minutes, we take a break for 5 minutes, and we restart again for 25 minutes. So it's 25-minute blocks of time. Now, what does this do? This trains the brain to work with the time that we have rather than against it. Many people believe that if I sit down and I study, I'm going to be studying for hours and hours, it's never going to end, so it makes me feel anxious and I don't feel like doing it. But what if we could say, hey, you're only going to do it for 25 minutes. When you put that block of time for 25 minutes, suddenly you're not working against time, you're working with time. And this reduces anxiety and nervousness and fear in students' minds that leads them to only need to do it for a short amount of time instead of having to sit down for hours and hours on end. Try it out, works really well. That's number 1. What about the second thing? The second thing is to do one thing at a time. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? But what have we been doing? What has society been programming our minds to do? That is, the people who can multitask are the most successful, right? Actually, that's not true. You see, we may praise the ability to multitask in our adult lives, but research is so clear that multitasking reduces concentration, and in fact, it weakens our performance because it scatters our energy, just like a light bulb. Think about it. If you have a 25-watt light bulb, and it's switched on in your house, does it hurt you? Does it burn your skin? No. Why? Because the energy is spread out, it lights up the entire room, right? But did you know if you take a laser and you take that laser in a dark room and you point that laser on the wall, will it light up the whole room like a light bulb? No, it wouldn't. Why not? Because the energy just focuses on one point. But watch this. Did you know if you take the same 25-watt energy and you put it into a laser, that laser will be able to cut through a thick piece of metal? Why? Because of focus, concentration of energy. When focus goes, energy flows. Which is why when we want to do things, to make it one focused point at a time. Make it a habit to stop doing multiple things at once and start doing one thing at a time in this one moment. And you will find that your brain will start becoming sharper And if you have young children from about 2 to 3 years old, what can you do to help them out? Well, you can simply sing the alphabet together while looking at the letters, one by one, focus. For children who are a little older, 6, 7, 8, 10-year-olds, you can complete maybe one long division problem at a time together, one by one, instead of doing it all at the same time. And if you have a teenager, what can you do with them? Well, tell them to forget about everything that they're doing right now and just focus on one topic in one subject for just 25 minutes. So that means don't try and do multiple subjects at the same time. Don't try and revise, do your homework at the same time. Just pick one subject, one chapter, one topic, and focus on that for 25 simple minutes. Don't look ahead at all the other problems. Just focus on doing one thing at a time. That's number 2. What's the third one? We're halfway through. We're having 6. Number 3. Set aside homework time and space. What does this mean? You see, because multitasking can disturb our concentration because we can be spread out all over the place, we've got to eliminate distractions. What are distractions? For example, our phones can ring. We may get a WhatsApp message. We may get a Facebook and Instagram ding on the phone. We may have music in the background. We may have TV going on in front of us or the side of us. These are all distractions. And distractions rob us of our concentration. So what can you do with your kids? For example, you can tell your kids to do their homework at the same desk or table in a quiet room with the TV turned off, the phone on airplane mode or maybe switched off or placed in another room, and the laptop shut unless it needs, they need it to complete a homework assignment. When they eliminate all these distractions and they sit at the same place over and over again, day in and day out, it trains the brain to be more comfortable with the familiar surroundings around them rather than always trying to figure out where they want to sit down and get their work done. So find a place unique that they will repeat and sit down over and over again at the same time. You can also use parental monitoring programs like spymyphone.com or netnanny.com, which will automatically shut down internet access after a certain period of time. So if your kids, you can program it in to say, okay, you only can use the internet for 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, the software will automatically shut it down. That helps them remove distraction from doing their homework. Now, as kids grow older and they become teenagers and they'll say, hey, mom, I'm responsible, I can look after myself, I can see how much of time I'm going to spend on my social media, on the internet. What you can do is you can help them shift to start using some self-monitoring software like peak.net, elevate.com or KnowMe, the app.com. So your team can independently manage their time and believe that they actually have responsibility, that they can do this for themselves. Do this so your kids don't get sucked into the vortex of Instagram and Snapchat, because what's going to happen is that they're going to be on that phone and it's going to go on for hours and hours and hours and they won't even know that time is flying by so fast. That's number 3. How about number 4? What else can we do to help build this focus and concentration muscle and mindfulness in our kids? Well, build in planned breaks. What does that mean? You see, kids need to get up. They need to move around. They need to do something different and not too taxing after concentrating for a period of time. They need to take some time out to rest and recharge, especially if it's during, and after school homework assignment or homework time. Younger children can maybe take a snack break, they can take a play break. That's if they're kids. If they're teenagers, they can be allowed to check out their friends' posts online, go to social media, or text with them for a set period of time. Not for an unlimited period of time, but for a set period of time. So when you use it with the Pomodoro technique from number 1, what I was sharing just now, make sure that the breaks are in for 5 minutes for the first 4 25-minute blocks of time. So what I mean is this, you're going to have 4 25-minute blocks of time. And for the first 25 minutes, you will take a break for 5 minutes. The second 25 minutes will take a break for 5 minutes. The same with the third, the same with the fourth as well. At the end of the fourth 25-minute block of time, they can have a 30-minute break. Now, what I find for my students is that when they do the first 25 minutes and they take the 5-minute break, it makes them feel that they want to go back and do the second block of 25 minutes as well. If your child can't do 25 minutes because maybe they're really distracted, maybe that they're having a real tough time sitting down, you know what? I've had students who I get to sit down for just 2 minutes. See, 2 minutes is not going to change your life. But when you stack up 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 2 minutes over a period of time with consistency, it starts building that muscle, and we can actually start getting tangible things done. At 2 minutes, after a week, 2 weeks, becomes 5 minutes. After another 2 weeks, becomes 10 minutes. And within a month, your child will be able to sit down and focus on this 25-minute block of time. That's number 4. Number 5, breathing. Did you know that our breath has a direct relationship, a direct impact to how we think and how we feel? Research has shown that the more oxygen that we have in our bodies, the more oxygen that goes into our brains, it has a chemical reaction to the chemicals that are released in our brains that go into our bodies. And the chemicals that are released are dopamine, that make us feel good, serotonin, that make us feel good and make us feel motivated. So the more oxygen we have, the more motivated, the more focused, the more clarity that we have in our mind.
Oh my god. Mr. Han?
Your focus needs more focus.
And we are able to sit down and extend our focus for longer periods of time. Now, what's the opposite? The opposite is the less oxygen we have in our bodies means we have more carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is poison to our body. The more carbon dioxide we have in our bodies, the more cortisol is released from our brains. What is cortisol? Cortisol is a stress hormone. So the more stress hormones we have in our body, the more nervous we get, the more anxious we get, and the more doubts we feel, the more worried we feel, and the more fearful we feel. And when we feel these negative, unpleasant emotions, what do you think we do? Do we sit down and attack the problem and figure out how to get it done as quickly as possible? Or do we run away from it and procrastinate it for us to do some other time in the future, which probably never really comes? Exactly, we procrastinated. So what can we do about it? You see, we have total control for our own life. We may not have the control for other people's lives, but we have total control of our own body inside. And the best way to control how we think and how we feel, and the quality of our thoughts and the quality of our feelings, is to have quality breath. So the deeper breaths we take, filled up in our lungs, 100% capacity of oxygen, we're going to find that dopamine, serotonin starts being released in our brains, and we start feeling not only more confident about ourselves, we start feeling more focused. So here is what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you a very quick technique that you can use yourself as a parent. You can even teach this to your kids as early as 5 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, teenagers. I teach this to all my students. My daughter is 3.5 years old and she does it as well. My students and 8-year-olds are doing it in their trainings, in their classes, they're doing it at home with their parents. Teenagers are doing it as well together with their parents in their 30s, 40s and 50s. And I'm going to teach this to you right now, where you're going to have an instant, and I literally mean that, you're going to see an instant result. You're going to feel immediately more focused, more motivated and more confident, and really want to go and get that obstacle overcome and solve that challenge that you want to accomplish right now. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we want to take 30 deep breaths. So we're going to take in, we're going to breathe in and out 30 times. When we breathe in and out 30 times, it's going to be like hyperventilating. We're going to saturate our entire body with oxygen. So if you have a child, before they sit down and do their homework, before they go to school, before they do anything that's going to be challenging, that requires them to focus and concentrate, you may want to do this really, really quick 3-minute technique on them. So they're going to breathe in and out, doesn't matter if it's through the nose or through the mouth, 30 times. Now, once we've reached the 30th breath, we take a deep breath, we exhale, we will hold on the exhale. We will hold on the exhale as long as we can. So probably it would be about maybe 20 seconds or about 30 seconds, depending on the lung capacity that you have. The more times you do it, the bigger your lung capacity gets, the longer you'll be able to hold your exhaled breath. So, step 1, take 30 deep breaths. Step 2, hold it. Hold it on the 30th breath. Now, once you can't hold the breath any longer, take a deep breath and hold that deep breath for 10 seconds. Why do you hold that deep breath for 10 seconds? Because you want to allow the oxygen that you've just inhaled in to saturate your entire body. Now, once you've held that for 10 seconds, you go back and do the 30 deep breaths again. 30 times. That's cycle number 2. Again, at the end of the 30th breath, what you're going to do is, when you exhale, you're going to hold that exhale for as long as you can. Once you can't hold the exhale anymore, take a deep breath, hold that for 10 seconds. and you're gonna do it 3 cycles. Now, at the end of the 3rd cycle, this is where it gets super interesting and super scientific. At the end of the 3rd cycle, you've taken your 30 deep breaths, you release on the 30th breath. When you've released all of your breath, you will go on the floor and you'll do as many push-ups as you can. Exactly, you heard me right. You're gonna do as many push-ups as you can. Now, if you are a lady or if you are older and you feel that your knees are not strong enough or you feel that you may be a little bit weak, you can always do the push-ups whereby you will use your knees. Get on your knees and get on your hands and push up that way to be more gentle on your body. But if you feel you can do a proper push-up, use that. Now, kids can do this when they're about 8 or 9 years old. Younger kids who are about 3, 4, 5 years old, they can go on their knees and they can do gentle push-ups. Now, why do you do this? You do as many push-ups as you can because you're going to your body, your physical body, when your body gets into movement, movement equals emotion. When your body gets into movement, the oxygen saturates into your entire body and you stress your body in a good way. You've got good stress and you've got bad stress. The good stress is when you stress your body, you know how when you stress your body in the gym, your muscle grows? Exactly the same thing. So when you're doing your push-ups, it allows the oxygen to go deep into the cells of your body. Now, some people can do 5 push-ups, some people can do 10 push-ups, some people can even do 50 push-ups. How many do you do? You're going to surprise yourself. Your kids are going to surprise themselves. It's just 3 minutes. So before they sit down for homework, before they sit down to revise, before they go to a tuition class, before they go to school, spend 3 minutes, do this, and immediately, in a heartbeat, you're going to find yourself full of focus, full of concentration. Now, if you do this every day for 90 days, that's right, 90 days, you're going to find that you're going to completely rewire your mind and put negativity away. As soon as a negative thought comes, you'll be able to just crush it and throw it away and just focus on the positive. But that takes training. We train this in our trainings, in our classes for the primary school students and secondary school students. But what's important is that you try it at home and you experience it for yourself and you can see the benefit. I'll see you at the next technique. That's number 5. What about number 6? The last one. You made it this far. Break big tasks down into smaller and more manageable pieces. How do we eat an elephant? With one piece at a time. You see, this is just another strategy for helping your kids approach a challenging task. I mean, I'm sure you do it as well in the office when we have a big project, when we have a big assignment that the boss has given us, and we have a big proposal or a plan to do. We break it down into small bits and pieces and we allocate it to different teams, to different departments, to different staff, team members to help do so that we can put it together and come up with a big piece, the big outcome, the big result. Same thing with the kids as well. You see, if your child is learning to tie her shoes, for example, you will make it the first goal to master the initial knot, yes? Once she's mastered that initial knot, then we'll move on to making 2 loops with the string until she knows how to make exactly those 2 loops and then put it together and tie it into a bow. Breaking it down one piece at a time. Another piecemeal strategy for building concentration is to use a timer to help kids organize themselves. So let me give you an example. You can look at the kids and say, hey, here's a book about horses. I'm going to set this timer for 15 minutes. And I want you to write down as many facts about horses as you can in this 15-minute block of time. And they go about and they do that for 15 minutes. Now, those are for children. But what if you have a teenager? Will they want to write about horses? I don't think so, maybe not. But if you have a teenager, you can help them out by asking them to do a brain dump. What's a brain dump? Well, basically it's telling them to spend 5 minutes and write down everything that's on their mind that needs to be done, that's troubling them because they haven't done it yet. Once they write that down, they will immediately find a sense of relief because what's running around in their minds, all these open loops that haven't been closed because they haven't been done yet, they get to put it down on a piece of paper, look at it, and it gives you instant relief. That's 50% done. The next 50% is you want to get it done, right? So ask them to circle the 3 most important things that need to be done. So you're going to circle, okay, I got to get my physics homework done, I got to revise for my English essay tomorrow, and I've got to get, the math sums done, or even clean my room. Get to the circle of 3 most important things they got to do, and they have to start doing it, and you know what? They and you will be stunned by how much they can accomplish because each of those 3 tasks, you're going to put it down for that 25-minute block of time, and they're going to do that completely focused with no distraction for that 25 minutes. You see, when your kids practice these 6 things, they train their brain to be right here, right now, in this moment, and that builds the focus muscles. You see, when our thoughts run wild, when they're scattered, it weakens our concentration muscles. Kids can be distracted by their runaway thoughts. You, me, we all have runaway thoughts. We're thinking about something in the future that we want to happen, we're anxious about it. We're thinking about something that happened in the past and we're feeling regretful about it. You see, when we have all these thoughts, our imaginations, our physical sensations, and even when we entertain these memories, it can distract us and rob us and pull us away from doing it, focusing in the moment right now. Use these 6 tips to train your child's brain and build their focus and concentration muscles. And remember, if you truly want to change your child's life, you must first teach them how to focus their mind.